What's going on, everybody? It's been a minute, but yes, the reports are accurate. The rumors are real. The Road Warriors are back. What's going on, everybody? This is SJG. I'm rolling with Cobi and Josh. Another excellent week of HBCU football is in the books. And man, we got a lot of really intense games, some close ones, some not close ones. And we got not only championship spots being punched in the SWAC, the MEAC, not quite there yet. And then, oh man, we saw a day that some people never thought we'd see in history. But you live long enough and you see certain things. So we'll get to that in just a second. But first off, what's going on, Cobi? What's going on, Josh? How you guys doing today?
Oh, I'm living the dream, baby.
That's what's up. Well, I spent last week hanging out with Cobi and this week hanging out with Josh. And, always interesting being on the road, whether that's near or far. Last week it was far. This week it was near. But, appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is the HBCU Game Day Road Warrior Show where we go on the road, bring you the games, and then also bring you beyond the highlights. And again, as I said, we got a lot to talk about, but in just a few minutes, we're going to talk about the playoffs.
Playoffs?
There you go. Thank you. I was waiting on you. Okay. We're going to talk about playoffs, Division II playoffs. We'll be kicking off next week. And guys, we know we're going to have at least two teams. Would be surprised if we didn't have four, and we just might have six. Is that real in the Division II world? CIAA and SIAC, a lot of times they get moved to the back end of HBCU football compared to the MEAC and SWAC, but they have been doing their big one. Again, we had the championships yesterday, so Albany State and Johnson C. Smith University, congratulations to them. They both punched their tickets with their wins, and we will get to that in just a minute. We're going to take a look in on the Division II selection show, and you will have, we got a VIP. We got a VIP, a very special guest. We usually only get this gentleman on Wednesdays, but the real Road Warrior himself, my guy. K. Ferg, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
Doing all right. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, man, great to see you. And yeah, so now it's a trio. This is who I've been hanging out the last 2 weeks. So again, man, yeah, Chris, I was just letting everybody know. The D2 football show is coming on tonight. I'm sorry, you do the D2 football show, and that will be coming on tonight. But the NCAA selection show is coming on in just a couple minutes, and we are going to be reacting live to it as it comes along. We are going to talk some FCS stuff until we get there. But yeah, if we can, I'll be pulling it up. But Chris, I know you were at the CIAA championship this weekend, and yeah, man, how are you feeling fresh off the road?
I'm good. I feel like I just feel very refreshed after taking a nap.
Lucky you. Yeah, man, again, we talked about the D2 candidates, the D2 teams and programs that advanced yesterday. Albany State won the SIC for I think the 85th time. I'm kidding, but I think it's like their 15th or 16th SIC championship in history. And then you got Johnson C. Smith. They had not won since games were put on microfilm, and they won the championship. Hey, like I said, you live long enough, things happen. Hats off to them. This is kind of how it ended.
He's got number 2, Reginald Brinkman. Touchdown, Golden Bulls.
On their neck.
Damn.
That's cold, man.
Damn.
That's cold.
No.
Cold.
Yeah, Chris.
All that commentary, Chris. You had to add that.
I actually like that. I like that. I ain't mad at it. I like that.
Oh, shut your Josh.
Well, listen, we know somebody, there's a winner and there's a loser on every side. And, we got Cobi here who has an affinity for Virginia Union for some reason. And then, we got, Wiley, who's not with us today, but he has he's got familiar with Johnson C. Smith
He
for
probably
some
cooking up
reason.
as we speak. He probably cooking up a cinema as we
Yeah, I
speak.
know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
wait, too. I
I
cannot
can see
wait.
him like steam coming out his ears.
Bro, what?
Everything.
He
Being
probably
alive.
Man,
cooking up something
he
crazy as we
he was
speak.
on cloud nine. He was on
He
cloud
was.
nine last night when I saw him leaving the field. I guess if there was a
He is.
silver lining for me, it would be that.
Yes. Yes.
Nah, yeah. I
would
don't
agree.
like. I support. Like, I'm cool with JCSU. I'm cool with Coach Flowers. I think he's a great coach. But I'm just more happy that all the hard work that Wally's been putting in that people don't really know about the past 3 years with doing the whole brick by brick and just taking the idea that he came up with on his own and going with it and just believing in it. And I remember whenever he first told me about it years ago, he was like, bro, I think it might do good if they actually do good. And then all the trials and tribulations coming with it, and then finally seeing it pay off. Like, I was out at Wake Forest covering the game out there, but whenever I checked and seen the score, I immediately hit him like, I know that's going to be crazy. He hit me back like, bro, I'm so excited. So I can't wait to see what he put together from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the perfect storm. You know what I mean? You come in and add those two things together. Perfect storm. Happy for the brother.
For sure.
Now, since they're below Virginia, though, I ain't that happy. Yeah, so what you done did, Steve? We can't hear you.
Yeah, the selection show.
Oh,
Somebody
we
that
can't
picked
hear
up.
it though.
I don't think we can hear it.
What did
The
he-
NCAA
Anyway,
not gonna-
so Chris,
they
tell
not
us
gonna-
about the game a little bit.
Well, I mean, I just felt like the energy in the stadium was like really big for JCSU in particular. I felt like the energy from VU is kind of the way they also came out. It just seemed pretty flat. They were just behind, kind of playing from behind the entire game, which, we saw that with Edward Waters, but it was a bit of a struggle, felt like, for them to keep up. The 14 points that they put up, the second touchdown, they needed that interception to get the ball to make the field a lot shorter. After that, it just felt like, man, like, is this going to turn out more like JCSU Fayetteville State, where like nothing gets done until the fourth quarter, or what? But
that game was bad.
yeah, and but it was just more so like, JCSU connecting on the deep passes and VU couldn't. I mean, and I think that's the story of the game. If you just saw like what VU did to JCSU at the game, the earlier game in the season, exactly what they did to them in this game. They just slowly pulled away. So
Wow, but I didn't expect to see that. I knew that it could be a close game,
yeah,
but I didn't expect to see that.
yeah. Oh, okay. So they got Kutztown. Kutztown, we already knew that. I mean, that was a
I
no-brainer.
can't see the.
Yeah, I don't know if you like blow it up or something.
Yeah.
Probably confusing. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, so they got Kutztown. So I live maybe 45 minutes. I grew up 45 minutes from Kutztown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for them because they never were good. They had a 55-year-old freshman in the 90s.
Oh my
They were
God.
South Carolina State before South Carolina State, huh?
Yeah.
Well, the Bentley piece is pretty. That was expected. Like Bentley, they got the auto bid, which they beat us.
Oh, they won that championship game.
Yeah, they won the auto bid because it's really down to them and Assumption, and they actually won it like not this past Saturday, but Saturday before. So that's not really a surprise there.
So
They
where
weren't
do you-
even in the conversation. So
Ooh, IUP.
So where do you
Yeah.
think where do you think Union and Smith will probably land up?
I think they're going to be 2 and 3. I think JCSU is going to be 2, and VU is going to be 3.
That means they're not going to host.
No, they would host. So the
Yeah,
top
yeah.
4 seeds, the top 4 seeds host, and the other 4 teams are technically unseeded. So they could be moved around however the committee feels. So like here, like with Assumption getting in, that means Fayetteville State's out.
For sure. I think they were already out.
Yeah, that's a tough one because really Bentley stole the bid from them when they got the auto bid.
The auto bid with that in.
Yeah, because if they lost, Bentley beat Assumption. So if Assumption would have won the game, Fayetteville State probably would have got in.
Yeah, Will Smith right there too.
Yeah, now you they's kind of filling in now, so it's just a matter of some of the matchups here.
Yeah,
but they chose not to have a rematch in the first round with IUP. So interesting.
Understand that. I wonder who Smith's gonna play. But no, while they're about to announce the team, that was one of the things that I was excited to see, like with the CIAA championship coming back to Durham, like how was the fan bases from the North Carolina schools was going to be. So that was I was excited to see. So I'm glad to see that, like you said, that both of the teams have like kind of showed up, especially Johnson C. Smith.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, the thing I don't like about the unseeded process is that like technically Assumption is probably more like the 7 seed. And they don't get to play JCSU. JCSU has to play Frostburg, and now VUU, even though VUU is a 3 seed,
they get to get somebody weaker.
They're gonna get somebody stronger. I would say they're gonna get Cal. I mean, this is predictable at this point.
Can Cal pass?
And California. Wait,
Cal have
say
a
it
passing
again,
game?
Steve?
Does Cal have a passing game?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Right.
But like the PSAC in general has been like very up and down. So
that's a long trip from. Well, not really.
Yeah, it is. They got to come. Well, they can come through West Virginia. Cal is near Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So IUP, Cal, and all that's near Pittsburgh. Kutztown is in the central part of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really. Bentley and Assumption got the longest trips. Like they're like 500 miles away. They're both in Massachusetts. And so they got a pretty lengthy bus ride ahead of them. And Frostburg is not as bad, and neither is Cal to VUU. But man, I tell you, VUU got to figure out a passing game because Cal's going to probably repeat the same recipe and try to slow them down in the run game. So they got to figure that out pretty quick.
I feel like that was. I feel like that was like one of the key pieces to the game. Whenever I came up here last week and I challenged Smith, I said it. I said, I don't think y'all can stop Curtis Allen. You know, I want to see y'all do it, and I'm glad they did. Eventually, stack the box and make them throw the ball down the field, because I feel like that was a recipe in a lot of the success, like being able to get 3-4 yards of carry, and then it'd be third and manageable, and now you could just deke and dunk your way all the way to the end zone to where it was kind of a easier to game plan against and kind of harder to defend, because you don't know if they're going to run and throw it short, or you don't know if it's going to be an RPO, because they didn't really have like a true down the field passing attack, because their quarterback is just as tall as me and Cobi combined. So it's like that was one of my biggest questions. Like, if they can slow down the run game, will they be able to hit those deep shots down the field? And it turns out that they weren't able to. I'm just surprised that with all the injuries and all the pieces that JCSU had to fill in, they came out and dominated in that type of fashion that they did. That's where I'm really surprised. That I thought it was going to be a lot more closer.
RJ can use his leg.
Yeah, they need to do more of that.
Albany.
Yeah. Albany.
No, if you go down there, they're going to cut you.
Albany.
I went to Alcorn one time. I went to Alcorn one time. I'll never.
Oh, now Alcorn would definitely forget. Now Alcorn would definitely get you.
I got you,
I ain't gonna lie, man. They hounded me all about Dynasty State. I like that matchup for Albany State, though. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
I don't like it.
I don't think
like
Valdosta is that good.
You think they tightened up since the beginning of the season?
I don't think so.
That's the team I don't think anybody wants to see right now. But it was so logical because of how close they are.
True.
So I don't think Albany's ever beaten Valdosta.
Wingate.
No, they have.
Huh?
They have. They have.
Oh, they have?
Yeah, maybe in the last decade, somewhere in the last decade. Maybe, yeah, they have.
Count me in on it right now. They will this year. I don't think Valdosta.
So Cal gives up 109. I mean, scores 190 yards passing the game and 150 rushing. Oh, Wingate plays Benedict.
I'm not. I like that matchup. That's this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wingate's not 2-4.
Yeah, I think I heard you say something about going
Wingate came on strong.
A&T and Elon, man. Nah, man, go ahead and make that trip to Wingate.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to A&T. That's gonna be nasty. I was like, man, I just gotta go somewhere. I can't sit down. Let me look up how far that is right now. Matter of fact,
West Florida's tough. I like them.
Kentucky State. I bet you they're gonna play Kentucky State. Kentucky State. I'm saying it right now. I can't hear anything, but I'm thinking it's
not bad.
They're gonna give Kentucky State them.
I'd rather go 2 hours to Wingate than go to A&T and watch them get beat by 97 points. That's right around Charlotte. That's cool.
Okay, North Greenville.
They can get beat by 97 points.
I didn't mean to say that, man. I'm trying to be on the Aggie side, man, because this is a lot of people. I'm gonna say this right now, man. People keep calling me, texting me, who posted on the game day account? Listen, it's not me. That's all I know. It's not me, okay? I don't want y'all to hate me. Like, listen, matter of fact, anybody from A&T, if y'all watching, listen, Josh, go to the game day. I have nothing to do with all the trolling and memes that are going on, okay? I am perfectly fine, okay? Oh, my God, Shador makes his NFL debut. Shador just came into the game.
Oh, word?
Yes, I just.
Oh man, you guys are getting it all here on the Road Warriors show. Oh, okay. So Kentucky State.
So Chris, they got a winnable game.
There's a lot going on right now.
Yo.
Is that a winnable game, Chris?
Oh, you know who we don't see on here? Delta State.
That's a tough place to play.
And they are hating in the Mississippi Delta.
They feelings about that.
Oh man!
Oh, I'm loving that.
Them boys was mad.
I mean, Kentucky State made a business decision, and I can't be mad at them for that.
Sorry, Delta State.
That lawyer is so mad at you, Steve.
Man, I got about 10 hate follows.
Business decision.
I got about 10 hate follows based off this. So yeah, we had.
Go ahead.
Now go ahead.
I was gonna say on Twitter, Steve was arguing, forget the guy's tag or whatever, and he was like, "I'm a lawyer, and I'm sure that's breach of contract." He said, "Well, not in the court of public opinion."
The court is not pleased. Oh, that's hilarious.
So
he stepped into the wrong space.
Chris, you're the foremost. You and Steve are the biggest, we'll say, experts right now in D2. How many teams you think we may be able to get into the second round?
Well, I mean,
I think when you start like that, Chris, my God,
probably has the most favorable matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And then after JCSU, then Albany probably had a second most favorable matchup. But I mean, I think that you could easily say 2, maybe 3 could get to the second round.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see. I already see Albany getting in. I think that I can see. I can see with the the one thing with Smith that I don't want them to happen. Well, I don't think Coach Flowers is going to allow, but I don't want them to get so hyped and so happy on the win and get in the ring.
Yeah, like the season's over.
Yeah, like
That's-
they turn it down a notch. That's what I don't
That's
want.
what.
Job's not done.
That's always the fear for these teams when they win for the first time.
They get on that high.
If we go back to I would say the modern era, WSSU when they won the first time, they were able to win and make it to the semis. And those two teams back to back, and then Virginia State won their playoff game when they won in 2014. They won their first one, and then but I guess you go to Bowie State in 2018 when they won their first one. Did they win that game? No, I think they did win their game, Chris. But that was because they had already been to the playoffs, I think maybe twice.
That was whenever they had Lamar at quarterback.
No,
that's when they had Amir. When they had Amir, but they had the thing that they had in their favor was they had already been to the playoffs twice and lost. So
and they had 2 home games. Right.
But what was it? So I guess it was the year Fayetteville State. We got to go to the year that Fayetteville State was the champion back in 2022. They waited all those years to become CIAA champions, and rightfully so. They were excited, and then they went to some school in Mississippi that ain't in the playoffs, so it ain't even worth calling their name. It rhymes with Velta State, but and they got dogged. So and then Union, their first year, they won the CIAA, and they didn't win in their playoff game. So it's gonna be interesting. When you get that high, especially right now, it's been them against the world. You got all of these people, and by all these people I mean me. Saying they're gonna Smith again, and laughing and giving them the Winston Cup. So they get past that, and now I guess the winner of the Winston Cup this year will be Virginia State, actually. So congratulations. That broke that news here. There will be a meme coming shortly. But yeah, man, it was it definitely is going to be interesting to see how they respond after getting over that hump. Like I said, we'll take what everything they didn't do last year. They came back and they did it again. So now they gotta. The whole city of Charlotte is behind them, patting their backs, making them feel good,
Rat poison. Rat poison.
So
rat poison.
They've been thriving off the doubters, off the naysayers, and they're welcome. But now, now they got the sauce. They done went over there and they done knocked off the would-be dynasty of Virginia Union, who was this close.
But,
it's
still a dynasty. Still a dynasty. You made it 3 years in a row. It's still a dynasty.
Nah.
See,
it's still a dynasty.
No, I would say this. Here's how they can be a dynasty, but right now the dynasty has been delayed. They got to get 2 more. You get 4 or 5 years, that's a dynasty.
Oh nah, I ain't.
Yeah, it's 4 and 5.
First of all, Steve,
look, it's unfair. It's 3. I am the foremost CIAA historian. 2 in a row is good, but a lot of teams have gotten 2 in a row.
You just because you know the knowledge, don't mean that you set the bar. Like
do the knowledge. Do the knowledge. Do the knowledge.
Like this for dynasty.
And with this, I told you the other day. I said, listen, they're almost there. They got to get over this hurdle. They're almost there. They've had a great run.
So I disagree with 3. I might not say that they're a dynasty yet. Say I don't say that, right? And I wrote the article. Say I don't say that they're a dynasty. Mm-hmm. But I don't think just championships makes them a complete dynasty because they have the playoff runs. If they got to see what they do in there.
Well, hey,
next year and all the other stuff.
Win the national championship, or get to the national championship. Okay, then I could say it. And it's not like you lost to a bad team. You lost it, but you didn't lose it to a bad team.
And
then
then
I think
another reason why I kind of consider it a dynasty because it's like in every other sport, this would be a dynasty. Getting to the championship. No, just getting to the championship 3 years in a row is automatically a dynasty. The Dodgers are a dynasty right now. Whenever the Dodgers are a dynasty right now, everybody called the Chiefs a dynasty, and they haven't won 3 in a row. They got to the thing 3 years in a row. So it's like in a lot of sports that we talk about today, they call those a dynasty whenever you make it to 3 in a row. Like it's not like, oh, it's 100% a dynasty, like you said, but they are in the making of a dynasty, 100%.
It's dynasty-ish. But look,
they can go back to the chip next year and lose. It's still a dynasty in my eyes.
Yo, Petty Murphy, your pettiness is at an all-time high.
What? No. That's a standard. That's a standard. Even to me, that's a standard. That's my standard. That is my standard.
So then and so Josh has his standard.
Man, please. It's just like if it had been Winston, I couldn't say that they were a dynasty. 2 in a row is good, but it's not a dynasty.
But see, this is where we sit that Winston had 6 championships in 4 years. I mean, 4 years. One of them, the championship game was canceled.
Right.
Because of the pregame fight, right?
Right.
So, like, what do you like? They were in the championship game 6 years. Like, I'm not going to argue with you about them being a dynasty.
That's
Mr. Foremost. Now, what I am going to say is that they've established who they were clearly, and I'm going with them.
Look. Okay, look. Finally, Reason has entered the chat. My man, Miak Mike.
Yeah.
VUU needed to win yesterday to be seen as a dynasty. Losing turned their achievement into a good run. Yes, they are at good run right now. Now, that's not to say they can't get to a dynasty. Make it to the national championship game. Hey, that could outweigh a conference championship. Or if things stay the same, or if things change and they get 2 more, they get 2 more. I can say it's a dynasty.
So
three in a row is immortality. 3 in a row is immortality.
Because I'm a Bills fan, and we were a dynasty. I don't care. We won the NFC championship 4 years in a row. So, anyway, Chris, what do you think? I'm gonna go to Chris. This is my thing, right? And I am a VUU fan and supporter, right? I'm admit my bias, right? But what I can say is I've never seen them in these kind of situations lose 2 games in a row, and they normally come back with a vengeance and with some attitude after they lost the game, no matter who they lose to. So that's what makes them a compelling story for me in the first round and their seed against Cal PA, because they have a little edge. They like Andy Reid after a bye. So what do you think?
I would agree with that. I think that they will certainly bounce back because we saw what happened with Edward Waters, and I feel like, when it's a new season, it's like you haven't won anything, right? So yeah, you had your predecessors who have won, but there are a lot of folks who haven't won a championship, and you haven't won it this year. So I mean, I don't know. It just felt like a little bit of complacency or something that happened yesterday for VUU, but now they get to play for a much bigger prize, and it starts with dealing with the PSAC.
Yeah.
Real quick. Shador threw an interception, but the Browns just got it back. First play interception, but they just got it back. So we're gonna see what happens.
So, like the PSAC plays some smash mouth football. Actually, to me, and you may tell me different, Chris, a little bit more. I played in the PSAC in the 90s, but it's like MEAC football. They run and beat you up. They beat everybody up. They put their hand in the dirt and they try to run over you. What do you think about that in this game? Is Cal PA similar? Because I haven't watched them all year.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cal is some of that. Those are teams that they tend to fare very well out of conference. Cal played Charleston and they won that game. And Charleston's a really good team. They're not in the playoffs, but they're a really good team close to the top of the Mountain East. So, I think it's a good matchup in terms of styles, because they're both going to have very physical line play in particular. And that's always been the story with like the HBCU schools, is like, are they going to have good enough line play to get their skill players in position to get the ball? And to me, I think VU's line play is definitely going to be there to line up pretty well. So it's just a matter of just executing at this point.
Yeah, there's a couple things I want to bounce on here. Yeah, for sure. Again, this is the fourth year in a row that this is the fourth year in a row that the Virginia Union will be in the playoffs. So the coaches know what it takes to win the playoff games. Like you say, I think, one thing that we talked about previously at the beginning of the year when I talked to Dr. Parker was how many of those guys from last year's team left and went to different places. And I think it finally caught up with them. Because, again, their passing game on offense, you don't got Reginald Vick Jr. anymore. He's at Wake Forest. And he covered a multitude of inefficiencies for them the previous year. You also lost the gentleman, I think his name is William Davis, on the defensive backside. That's another guy that, and those were the two places they got exposed. Those are two places that they got exposed in. And you know what? I've given him a lot of flack, but Robert Massey from WSSU, when they played Virginia Union and they scored 34, listen to me. Look at you getting huffy and puffy. Listen to me. Listen. So he said that, they gave people a blueprint to beat VUU. I think that's a little bit overdrawn, but we talked about this on the show on Wednesday. A good quarterback and a good passing game can exploit Virginia Union. And Kelvin Durham didn't do it the first time, but he did do it this last time. So hopefully Union can shore that up. It's going to be interesting. Maybe this will add some more. I'm sure this will add more fuel to their fire. And maybe this inspires them to get on the run. And maybe we'll just look back and say that Johnson C. Smith was extraordinarily good, and Virginia Union was really good too. And that's just the way that it worked out. But it's potentially a big day for the CIAA. It would be great to get both teams there. For sure.
That's gonna be tough because they play the second round. If they both win, they play each other.
Yeah, they both play in the second round if they both win.
Westchester don't got a big black population. They just close to Philly. They ain't got a big black population.
Cobi is Mr. Pennsylvania, so that's that, and Mr.
They are. I don't like Westchester. I went to Cheney, man. Anyway, we gonna move on. Albany. Albany is tough. How do you feel about their matchup?
Well, I think what you're going to really have to do with Valdosta now is that you're going to have to put up a lot of points. That's what it's going to take now. I don't see this game being low scoring. And so I just think you're going to put up a lot of points to make it happen. And with Isaiah Knowles and company, they can do it. I really do think so. Like JCSU, the game plan that they have for Valdosta early in the year was to kind of keep them between the 20s and not let them get loose. But there are times in which, like in that game, the running back got loose a couple of times and you couldn't catch him. I mean, he was so fast. And so that's what you kind of have to do. And they disrupted the pass game. If Albany has the depth, right, to sort of keep up and manage through that, they will do, I think, pretty well.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kentucky State. Any? What is your thoughts on Kentucky State? Their chances, Chris?
So Newberry is known to be a really tough place to play, man. Like,
I thought he couldn't hear you at first.
I had to pause for added dramatic effect because, like, I Newberry has been in a lot of dogfights this year with the South Atlantic, and they sort of came out of nowhere to make things happen. I don't like this matchup for them. I think that Newberry is going to establish their presence with the line at the line, and so I don't particularly like it at
They
all.
might have 300 yards at halftime.
Yeah, I don't like this matchup, and I know, like, we all hoping for the best because people still chattering and everything like that. But shoot, I'm not so sure Delta State would have been any different here, honestly.
Let them tell it.
Yeah, I just Newberry's really good.
I feel like no matter what, somebody was going to be left out. Somebody was going to be upset, like it is every year.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's part of
Pembroke. I mean, Pembroke's the other one.
It's part of the game. Yeah, it's part of the game.
Yeah, because I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
with
many years HBC was left out. HBCU
Oh my gosh.
was left
Oh
out.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, that's the thing. With this setup, right? It's prime for having people to be left out. And North Greenville was that was unexpected. The Valdosta caught a lot of people by surprise. I just said I felt like Valdosta could pull the upset because West Florida does not put teams away, and that's exactly what happened. And so it's not just like a Delta getting left out here. I mean, UNC Pembroke was in the polls. I mean, in the rankings, and then now they didn't get the auto bid and they can't get it at large because really Valdosta. So yeah, but Newberry, well coached, a well coached team, and got a lot of pieces to work with, and Kentucky State can't get behind early. And even if they get up early, that lead ain't safe against Newberry. Not at their place, it's not.
yeah. So
And the game needs to end. And the game needs to end before a nightfall because that's a dark place to be. It really is. You need to get up out of there, man.
yeah, that's like South Carolina State. When it gets dark around South Carolina State,
Right.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. It's some voodoo there. It's something with South Carolina State at night. Like,
Man, who you telling?
Just
Man, me and Wally,
at night. Man,
me and Wally got locked in. Me and Wally got locked in there one time, and dog, we were calling everybody, including Jesus, to get up out of there, man. Woo.
Like, it's crazy.
Man.
Like Steve.
It's like a horror movie out there, man. No disrespect, South Carolina State, but it's like a horror movie out there, dark, man. It's like
it's wild out there, boy.
Yeah. So Benedict, are they going? So what it looks like in Group 1 and 2, the HBCUs are in the same corner of the bracket on both sides. So if they win, they'll end up playing each other, right? So Benedict and Albany, if they win, they play each other, and Johnson C. Smith and
Union.
Virginia Union. So that's also interesting. We hope they win, and we ride and root for them. But that's also an interesting place that they've been so close together, merged in mesh. That's also interesting.
Yeah, it's a 2-3. I mean, that's what happens with 2-3. So and 1-4, and I mean it was clear separation, right? Because like IUP had 2 losses. So and VU, do you really want to put them at a 4 versus a 3? I mean, I think it's a bit of a wash, honestly. So I think it was kind of unavoidable. Whereas you get 3 teams from the SIC, and I think that's so monumental because
that's historic. I was
man,
going to say
the SIC was struggling to get a team into the playoffs, like a year or 2 ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
But
and now they got 3 teams.
Because even when that Benedict team got in, they got smoked the first game. So
yeah. No, that's
against
yeah,
guess who? Wingate.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah. Well, hopefully Virginia Union last year set those demons aside. Was it? Did it? Yeah. Hopefully. Hope.
You all right?
No, I'm just going off of what Alonzo. Listen, I ain't say it's bad. I ain't say I don't like y'all. I love y'all. Me and Steve got friends out there that do content out there. Love y'all down there. But I'm just calling a spade a spade. Last time I went out there, it might have been because it was Halloween. Maybe it's because it was Halloween last year.
Nah, man, it's dark. It's just
Dark.
dark.
It's
You don't got
dark.
Darkness,
It's
everybody.
dark.
Darkness.
They
I
locked
went-
the gates.
But
Nah,
I mean,
bro. I was like, yo, how do I get out of here?
After I left, I'll try to go to the gas station. I'll just make sure I get gas before I stop.
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck down there. Hey,
No,
and
sir.
the cell phone service will go out if you go in the wrong direction. But
Then you basically in the woods.
yeah, so and you don't gotta explain, Alonzo.
But yeah, just to hammer that point home, really big salute to the SIC and the CIAA for getting 5 HBCUs in the playoff in 1 year. That is amazing. Shout out to the NCAA for getting them out of the same division, the same super region, because a year ago, maybe we only get 2, 2 out of 2 or 3. So I think that's really huge for the CIAA and the SIAC. I know a lot of people last year in the D2 world, weren't happy when they expanded the playoff field, when they gave auto bids to the NCAA, to the winners, which seems like the thing to do, but they didn't do it for so many years. And the HBCUs were often the victims of it. But now that that's real, not only do we have our champions going, but we also have, the teams that are second and third place there in consideration as well. And so now it's just on them to go out and win those games. And shout out to the SIC commissioner for negotiating that deal with the Conference Carolinas. I know the folks over at Delta Hate are, doing whatever they do down there. But, at the end of the day, there were options, as Chris said. They took that option, they ran with it, and hey, they are now in the Division II playoffs, and other folks can just do their shoulda, coulda, wouldas on the corner, do-wopping and show-stopping. But,
5 events, for
they had to pick up that PlayStation 5 and do some engineering. All right. Well, look, Chris, we definitely appreciate you for hopping on. You can stay on if you like, for sure.
Yeah.
But I know you have another show going on as well. We're gonna talk about a little bit of FCS stuff. Because there was some.
Let y'all have it.
There was some stuff going on. Chris is like, do. All right, Chris, we will see you on Wednesday for the D2 show. It should be fun. Where I'm sure those newfound Johnson C. Smith fans will be there, kicking up dust with something to say.
Yeah.
But we'll be there because we ain't ducking the
We
smoke.
welcome you. Nope.
Yes, congratulations on your second
see y'all.
championship in 127 years. Yes. Congratulations. All right. Yeah, man. Well, that was fun. Thanks, Chris, for joining us. This is the Road Warriors Show on HBCU Game Day, where we are breaking down this week's action, specifically the games that we were at. But let's get to it. There was a lot going on, but let's start at some other places that we weren't exactly at. But it was a tough week for a lot of teams. It kind of tells you how some things went.
Where they role models at? Where's the adults? That's the question we all trying to figure out.
That's the question. That's the question we all trying to figure out. Hampton and North Carolina A&T. Lord have mercy. What?
quick. A&T, like I told you, this ain't got. I'm
Man.
It's a bystander.
Yeah, remember? Oh yeah, Cobi. You remember a couple months ago when Josh was high on North Carolina A&T football?
I still am. This the thing that I want people to realize, man. I don't know if people that watch our show or people that come in and visit really understand how bad the players, not the players, how bad the North Carolina A&T team is. Like, they're not good. Like, they're not good. And no offense to
I
any
can't
players.
wait till you get them A&T emails. I can't wait for them text messages and all that.
What I'm trying to say is, Coach Gibbs is taking a not good roster and competing in some games. Like, yes, he beat Hampton. Great. Like, yes, he's competed against William and Mary. Yes, they're losing.
Hold on. Everybody beat Hampton.
I understand it.
You beat Hampton. Whoop-de-doo.
I understand this is what I'm trying to say. Like, they shouldn't. With the roster that they have, they shouldn't. They shouldn't have been closer than Tennessee State game. They shouldn't have they shouldn't have beat Campbell. They shouldn't, any of the games that they're close in, they shouldn't be close because their roster is not nowhere near competable as it should be. They're down to their 6th and 7th string quarterback.
Nah, that was a couple weeks ago. KJ White been playing.
They don't have the quarterback that they wanted to start at the beginning of the season. KJ White is their starter, but he's been banged up in and out the whole season. So it's like, I get it. And what I'm trying to say is, Coach Gibbs has that team competing, even though competing doesn't mean anything. But from a recruiting standpoint, from a alumni standpoint, from a fan standpoint, I don't want people to look at how bad they're getting beat and like, oh, here we go again, because he's setting up the program to get in a better place. Like, I think I seen a quote today when he was like, hey, man, I've rebuilt it before, but it ain't look like this. Like, it definitely looks bad right now. Give it a couple years. He's got that. What I'm basically saying is, in long story short, he has a team that doesn't have that's nowhere near the talent that he thought he had when he first got there, and he's still making it work without any talent. And he's going out there competing against teams that he shouldn't even be close in. We just seen it with the last coach; they were nowhere near close in any games. So it's like, you got to look at it from a two-sided perspective. Like, okay, cool. Yes, they're getting beat by 100 points by Mama, but they are competing.
Yeah, that game was close.
What game?
That's what you call closer.
I'm talking about William and Mary. I'm talking about the Campbell game. I'm talking about the Hampton game. I'm talking about the Tennessee State game. None of them games should have been close.
55-14.
Who?
Was that them?
Who?
A&T? Or was that Hampton?
No, Hampton. No. Let me clarify. Hampton. I'm sorry. North Carolina A&T got beat 63-19 by Monmouth.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be it.
But I'm not.
William and Mary is the one who pounded on Hampton.
I respect what you're saying. You got moral victories. You having moral victories.
It's not even. I'm not even saying more victories. It's just more like in like.
You believe in the coach.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, because it's like whenever you just gotta see it in person. Like, if you see,
that's what I was gonna say. Like you said to me.
No, because that with the Delaware State, not really within that, because like Delaware State is that's a whole different ballgame. Like within that,
but I was telling you that, and you was like, nah, and so it's.
But that's not. But I was saying with Delaware State, as in, okay, they can be competitive, but I didn't see them being to where they are now in other aspects. We know, like, at least Delaware State had Marquise Gillis and top players that were actually good. Like they almost beat Central in the past couple of years. If you go and look, it's been very close games with Central every single year. They just haven't been able to get over the hump, except for last year whenever they got blown out in Dover. They got blown out in Dover last year. But whenever they came to
2-18 in 2 years. Del State was 2-18.
Yeah, and like they competed in their games compared to A&T to what they've been going through. My God, like they don't have anything. So it's like, you know, they got a great fan base. They got a great fan base that loves them. I mean, barely even.
They got a great band. They got a great marching band.
Great band. So they don't have nothing.
I have nothing. Nothing.
No. When I first started shooting, all the A&T people were killing me, Jack. They was talking the big trash.
Listen, this one thing about me.
No way. North Carolina A&T talking trash, talking a lot. Man, you must be confused. You must be thinking about North Carolina A&M.
No. This one thing about me that people gonna realize. Whenever I say stuff, I don't care what anybody else has to say. Not like people on Twitter and stuff.
I don't want you to. I'm just going to continue to smile and laugh until I see it. Until I see it.
All I'm saying
So-
is, I think the program's in a good direction from where it used to be.
Ain't nowhere else to go but up.
That's what I mean, at one point, it didn't look like it was anywhere else. It didn't even look like they would go up at one point.
I like Gibbs too. I do like Gibbs. I just don't know. He got to get some players because it ain't about always the X's and O's. It's about the Jimmys and Joes.
Yeah.
When you don't have no Jimmys and Joes.
I'll say this. I've been known to make a joke or two about North Carolina A&T, specifically now when it's football season and they've been down. But the thing about it is, I was there for the success. I was there for the downfall over the last couple of years, and I've been showing up pretty much every week. Even last week where I got my car towed. I've been showing up every week to the press conferences, and again, there's still a lot of there was a lot of optimism and a lot of hope when Coach Gibbs got there, and that's still there. But I can also tell you this from experience: optimism and hope ain't a strategy. It's not a strategy. I listen to Coach Gibbs every week, and he's talking about the program, and I think he knows where they are, trying to get the most out of what he has. But as he said, they're gonna have to get out there and do recruiting. And North Carolina A&T is a great school. It is a great university. They just got $63 million dropped on them by Mackenzie Scott. They were the second HBCU in North Carolina to get some money from Mackenzie Scott. We know where it went first. Thank you, Miss Scott. But anyway, they have a lot of they know that they have to have some money. It's gonna take money. A
lot of it. And
that when they moved, that was the thing with them moving from where they were to where they are. And I just wrote a piece about this because, people, again, because I'm a Ram, talking junk about North Carolina A&T just kind of comes naturally. Like, they're right over there in the next county. Everybody talks about them. It just kind of comes naturally. So, but, now you got all these other folks who are hating A&T, and I'm kind of taking offense to it. Y'all are new to this. Y'all not true to this. Y'all are just mad because they left an HBCU conference. And I get it. I get it on one level. But again, at the end of the day, it's a choice that was made. It is what it is. And they are where they are. It doesn't do people in the MEAC. I don't even know why these people in the SWAC are like, oh, yeah, y'all should go back to the MEAC either. I don't know. It does nobody any good for that. Like, they are where they are. That reflects who they are moving to as an institution. And they've been moving like that for a minute if you really been paying attention, but folks wasn't paying attention because they was too busy being buddy-buddy to them. So it is what it is. I wrote a piece about it on HBCUGameDay.com because I think, leave the Aggies alone about where they are. I think some of the A&T people need to accept that is where they are. They're not going back anytime soon as much as they would like to. And if they are the university, if they are the football program that they think they are or that they feel that they are, they always let us know that they are the largest HBCU. If the largest HBCU in America, the most powerful HBCU, as they would call themselves, can't play in the CAA, what does that say about HBCUs and HBCU football? And they should go back to another place where they've been getting their tails kicked by those teams too. And I'm old enough to remember when they lost 27 in a row in the MEAC before anyway. Some food for thought. But let us know what you guys think. I'm tired of hearing it. There's other things that we can give them jabs for. All right.
Too. And I don't even go there. I don't even go to the team, but I'm tired of hearing it. Like, they're not going back. So stop saying it.
All right. So let's go over some scores and then we'll talk about the games we're at and then we'll get out of here. So of course we had Jackson State took care of business against Bethune-Cookman, 28-13.
Them fights, that fight really made me mad, man, because that game could have been a way better game, but all those ejections and suspensions really messed it up.
Yeah, no, and that would not be the only game where you could say that as well, because Grambling State, they after last week's Mike Tyson punch out, they went across the state lines and got knocked by Alcorn State, who suddenly found a pulse. So good for Cedric Thomas because they were on the boys' head. But so they the Fight Club action did not work out for either team. Meeting disrespect with disrespect, and both of them met L's with L's this week. Southern, my God.
Old people, man. I told people. I told you.
It's man. Texas Southern.
You can't fire the head coach and not fire the staff that he brought in with him. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I'll say part of the staff that was there under Graves was there under the previous head coach. So maybe somewhere somehow in Baton Rouge, this is getting through to them. But Texas Southern used to own this rivalry. Well, it wasn't a rivalry. They used to own the series. But that has, as to quote my favorite show, The Wire, think about the old days.
They're
the old days. Period. Slim Charles. I mean, we can say that about a lot of schools right now. We can say that about Southern. We can say that about A&T.
Yep.
The old days are not the old days. So right now, Southern searching for not only a coach but an identity, for answers.
My God.
It's gonna
be bad for some years. I'm gonna say this right now, firsthand. It's gonna be bad.
Maybe not, because I'm hearing that some folks who were coaching yesterday in championship action, I'm hearing some of those names over at Southern. And we do know that the most successful coach at Southern University in the modern era, Pete Richardson, also came from a D2, also came from the CIAA. Matter of fact, he came from Winston-Salem State University, Pete Richardson. So we'll see. Maybe it's time for them to go to the CIAA well again, but we'll get there when we cross that. Elsewhere, any other scores that stand out? FAMU managed to escape Huntsville, Alabama with a 26-23 win. Tennessee State still taking it to the chin, but they can only beat HBCUs. Kentucky State 35-7 over Shorter. Take that. All the Delta.
So I got a question. I have a question about Tennessee State.
Mm-hmm.
OVC is probably going to fold. I'm not going to say it. I'm surprised Mike hasn't said it, but I don't understand why we haven't had any outreach to get Tennessee State and the MEAC.
They're going. I think they're going. Well, I mean, the MEAC.
No. They'll go to the SWAC before they go to the MEAC. I know people think, that's why I said y'all got to stop treating the MEAC like that friend that's got everything going for her, but she don't got no man. Like y'all are like, yeah, we should hook them up with Tennessee State. If they're gonna go to an HBCU conference, it would be the SWAC. The SWAC had extended them the invite. It's just logistically not a situation that's really gonna work. But
I feel like the MEAC is that girl that didn't get invited to the prom, and she kind of cute.
Like she all right, you know what I'm saying? Like she cool, like you know what I'm saying? Like you can ask her around. Get her a little drink and go to Waffle House out there.
Yeah. Or that dude that dressed fly at school and no girl want to go with him.
And he stink. He don't really shower.
Yeah.
Oh man, they don't stink. They got a nice personality. They just don't got a lot of swag. Right? They got it. They're smart. I'm sorry. Yeah. Aura. Yeah. There we go.
You're right.
He's just missing.
When they come, they got on Skechers.
Yeah. And he ain't really got no aura to him. But it's cool though.
Yeah. So
I would say this though. They got it. I don't know about all the politics, but
they got a good heart.
Yeah, and they have opportunities. They just got to take them.
That's all that matters. As long as they got a good heart, you know what I'm saying. Whole time she's cool.
Speaking of the MEAC, the weekend started over in Durham.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. I mean, what a game. We started, a couple weeks ago. Josh, you went down to Jackson, Mississippi in a game that was being billed by a lot of the HBCU folks and HBCU media as the game of the year in the HBCU, potentially the game of the decade. It had a lot of this hoopla before it. Go to our point, Jackson State, South Carolina State Central didn't have the same savoir-faire. It didn't have the same juicivity to it. And I don't even know if that's a word, but if it is, I've now coined it. It didn't have the same thing, but man, it feels like it was definitely the MEAC version of that game so far. Maybe even though we're gonna have a de facto MEAC championship, I'll let you guys see just a little bit about how crazy it got. Some of the moments out there. Here's one that is gonna live in infamy.
I said the same thing.
How far back was he?
They was literally at like the 2-yard line.
I mean, he ran back 6 yards.
It's a read option.
If you the one girl. Yeah, I know.
So he tried to get
That
lateral.
ball look like it's on the 1-inch line.
It was, but he put that hand up. I got a good shot of that.
I got a great video. I can't wait to put the video out. I'm gonna put a little meme to it too, the little GTA meme to it. It was crazy.
Yeah, man.
Because he didn't see him coming. Because on the video that I got, he got it and he put his hand up and he's looking to the end zone. But the person that hit him was a corner that was stretched all the way out on the numbers of the on the numbers. So whenever the corner broke off the receiver, he just came in. Boom! I didn't even know that it was coming. Because in the quarterback seen it last second, that's why he tucked the ball. Because if he didn't see it last second, he probably would have fumbled. But they still went on to get stopped on 4th down. That was
so. Josh, you was at both games.
Yes, I was.
So I want to hear your opinion.
I'm gonna be honest. The Jackson State game was I think it was way more of a game of the year than the South Carolina State North Carolina Central game. Just simply on the fact of South Central already lost to Delaware State. So it was like this game had implications, but it's like it really wasn't like as big as implications as it was with Jackson State and Alabama State for one. For two, it was homecoming for Jackson State. So it was way more crowded, way more people. Even though the stadium holds a lot more people, I don't think that all the people from Central still would have came because after Central had lost to Delaware State, I still hung around because it was homecoming. A lot of people were like, well, the season's open. Let's go to basketball season. So, even though it was pretty deep, and Steve would tell you, it was a pretty good crowd from North Carolina Central, but people, fans and stuff, they already thought the season was over. To where Jackson State and Alabama State, that game was basically the SWAC championship game. And I think the Jackson State game was more important just because those two schools were already looking dominant throughout the rest of the road, and there was no chance. Well, it wasn't a real chance that either one of these teams would slip up. So it was this is basically win or go home. And the game lived up to it. Last drive of the game, all the highlights in the world that you wanted, everything that we talked about happened. Andrew Body, Jacoby and Morgan stepping up in big time plays, everything that we talked about and gassed it up for the whole week, it all lived up to it. Compared to South Carolina State and South Carolina State and North Carolina Central, we knew that it was a big game, but it was Central already lost to Dell State, and Dell State is a team that needs to be beaten. So it's it's important, but it's not as
well. I mean,
it was in midday. It was at 5:30, so it was
yeah, well, if they would have, if North Carolina Central would have found a way to win, then that meant that this weekend's matchup against South Carolina State still would be, they needed. So they needed a 4-way tie.
Help.
That means they needed a 3-way tie. Right. So they needed South Carolina State to beat them. So yeah, but yeah, once that was over with, they I mean yeah, like you said, a lot of people talked a lot of stuff about them flexing this game to Friday at 5 p.m., which it is early, and it was actually at 5:30. I don't know, I kept hearing it, but it's 5:30. It's already tough getting into North Carolina Central anyway. It's literally embedded in a neighborhood that is consistently being
parking.
Yeah.
Snow parking.
Gentrified. Yeah. And so, and you park at your own risk in a lot of places. And I know some photographers, one of my good folks who had the tow monster. The tow monster was busy at North Carolina HBCUs this week, for sure. But it was so, and it's also during the playoffs of football for high school. It was literally like a high school type situation. So, you're always a little bit worried about that. It seems like every year Central takes these non-Saturday games. And, they had a solid crowd. I think they reported over 7,000 and their stadium, holds it seats like 11 or so. And then until they want to say that it seats more. But, so it was a solid crowd. South Carolina State showed up as they always do.
That's what I was going to say. They brought a good crowd. They brought a real good crowd.
Yeah, South Carolina State is definitely the best traveling fan base in the MEAC by far, based off everything I've seen over the years. So that helped. I thought that the atmosphere was good. People forget about it, that last 30 seconds of the first quarter, man. South Carolina State scored 14 points. They went down the field, hit them with a bomb. Yeah, the onside kick was crazy. Definitely caught me off guard. And then 6 seconds left, they get the ball. 6 seconds left, they get the ball, and I just happened to be in the right place, right time. I got some really great still photos of it. Bomb, and all of a sudden it's 17-3. And you're like, oh boy, because Central last year in Orangeburg, Central last year in Orangeburg got down, really got down early.
Yeah.
So
it was 21-3, 21-7 last year.
Right. Yeah. So, it was definitely like, oh, what's gonna go on? But then you had Central come back, and then by the time we got to the third, and by the time we got to the end to halftime, it was 20-17. So they were able to come through and get the pick six, and really that kind of ignited what they did, put some hard hits on the quarterback. So that was it was a lot of action on the field, and I think that translated. I heard a lot of great things about it. I think the only thing people had anything bad to say about was the officiating, which people never like officiating, but we started the week with Deshaun Jackson making a lot of remarks about referees. Kind of went under the radar. I didn't see anything about a fine, so that's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting tomorrow when I pull up on that MEAC. When I pull up on that MEAC media call tomorrow, because I understand, Cobi, in the game that you went to, the Dell State and Howard game, there were 31 penalties. So we'll get to that in just a second. But Josh, anything else you want to kind of conclude from this game as North Carolina Central? We know every year they lose one game in the they lose one game in the MEAC. Well, this year they messed around and lost the second one. What are your thoughts on this? And as they move forward, they will finish up against Morgan State. Your thoughts on the game?
I think it was a great game. Like, I think the game was still great. Like, even though, like I said, it wasn't. I don't think it was better than the JSU game, but I still think it was a great game. It was definitely a great game. A lot of trash talk. It was cold. It wasn't as cold as people thought it was going to be. So, like,
no, it definitely could have been colder.
Yeah, it could have been way colder because it's been cold out here in North Carolina. Like recently, like the past couple of weeks, it's been really cold. But could have been way colder, but it wasn't. So I was glad like the weather didn't play a big factor into it. I think a key note that's going to kind of go under the radar in this game was the turnovers. A lot of turnovers. It was a turnover on the I think South Carolina State, and Central both had combined of like 4 or 5 turnovers on like fumbling, like just fumbling. Ball control was a huge issue. Every time one team would think that they would try to get away and take the game and try to run away with it, they'll fumble, or they'll throw an interception. Like Steve said, the pick six was one of the big momentum plays. And later on in the game, man, you got to give a shout out to that South Carolina State defense. Held Central to only 7 points in the second half. That was probably the key factor within the game. Central wasn't able to punch the ball into the end zone. They weren't able to come away with points. I think they even had a field goal blocked, if I'm not mistaken. They got a field goal blocked, to which left a lot of points off the board. And even though we joked about the quarterback that we see on the screen right now celebrating way too early before the touchdown, and them eventually getting stopped on 4th down and being at the 1 yard line, I don't know about you, Steve, but I thought I was guaranteed that Central was going to go down and score. I'm like, there's no way that Central, gets a big defensive goal line stop like that in a crucial game, and they don't go down here and at least get 3 points. You got to go 99 yards on the field, but I mean, it's game on the line, season on the line. You got to figure something out. And that South Carolina State defense held their own. Like we said about the officiating, questionable pass interference calls that could have been called that wasn't called. Then South Carolina State came back, got some questionable calls as well. So I think, you got to take officiating out of, you got to play the game, But all in all, great game. I can't wait to see the matchup next week with South Carolina State and Del State, basically for the MEAC championship game. I think it's going to be a great game because I think it's going to be a good 2 teams.
All right. And speaking of Delaware State, somebody's been singing the praises of Deshaun Jackson and company for quite a while. Cobi was down in Delaware. It was in Delaware.
Yeah,
right?
Dover.
It was in Dover, and 2,100 people showed up. Yay!
Yeah, that's a lot, man. I was honestly, at first when I got there, the game started early. I mean, people trickled in. So by the second quarter, though, it was a decent crowd. I can't lie. It was better than what we've seen. So they've been putting in some kind of work about getting the schools there. They had a band day. Howard didn't bring their band, and they still filled up where the Howard's band would normally be. Or I shouldn't say filled it, but had a decent amount in there. So I was.
Howard didn't bring their band?
Huh?
Howard didn't bring their band?
No.
Come on now, Howard. Y'all got that McKenzie money. Y'all can get them a little bit for the travel budget. It ain't that far.
What I did say is they had the cabanas. That's one thing that you didn't see in the stands, is that they probably had another 100, maybe 200 people in cabanas in the end zones. Right? So they had a decent crowd for Delaware State for what I'm used to seeing. And I'm thinking it's going to be bigger next week. But getting to the game, I'm going to tell you this. I saw a very, very chippy Howard.
No way. Oh, you mean Howard? Okay.
Howard came in with a different kind of aggression, and it's not the typical. Like, I've never seen Howard be scared of anyone, even when they play Rutgers. So I'm not going to make it like.
But it wasn't ghetto. But it wasn't ghetto, was it?
Yeah, it was extra. No, like, and I'll get to it near the end of the game, but it was a little extra. Like, a lot of the penalties you were talking about, Del State had like 11 penalties or a little more. I forgot, it might have been more for 195 yards. Delaware, and those are questionable. Like, I'll get to that in a minute. Howard had like 135 yards and penalties. A lot of them were unsportsmanlike or little stuff. Like, Howard had 2 unsportsmanlike, and I think the one kid, like, they had Delaware State so angry, especially in the fourth. Especially in the first half, that I was afraid that something ugly could happen. Like, that's how chippy that and extra.
This would have not been the week for that to happen.
Nah, and that's the one thing I'm gonna say, that he handled it well. So he didn't let his players shake hands at the end of the game, right? Because it was so much going on. And so, hold on, let me do this real quick. So, that part was really, it was just like one of the players was over there standing on the sideline talking trash directly to Coach Jackson. Right? And Jackson was like, do you see this? Do you see this, to the referee? Right? He said, yo, please, I'm not dealing with it. I'm ignoring it. But if you don't deal with it, I'm going to deal with it. You know what I mean? But you get to a point where, and he managed his team. Marquis Gillis is one of the quietest, soft-spoken men I've been around in a football game. And when things happen in the game, he normally doesn't get bothered. I think one of the kids, I couldn't see what he did to him. I couldn't tell what it is, so I don't want to speculate and put something on here. But he did. It looked like something was happening that shouldn't be. And he laid on the ground for a little bit. Then he got up after he got himself together and was ready to black out. They had to get him off to the side. So I mean, it was, and you could hear the trash talk. And then even I love 69. I got to get up his name for Delaware State, the center. He gets himself and stuff because he talks all game. But I love him being on the line. He's one of, as what did Trey Oliver call him, the big sexies? I think it's Johnson, Justice Johnson. I love him. He was like, yo, y'all talking too much. And I really was surprised about the amount and the intensity. The line that they seem to go over at Howard. That's not a Larry Scott coach team. That game didn't seem like a Larry Scott coach team. And I don't know if you tried to fire him up or not, but it didn't seem like that. But it was physical. And they couldn't run. Like Delaware State, Howard only had 43 yards rushing. You know, and so like they were beating them up. And I'm telling you, it was what, 20-something to 13 or 20-something like that. Delaware State could have had 30 or 40. They called like 3 touchdowns back. And I mean, like one, he called pass interference. And I was right there, and I even had to go back in the camera to look and see what was going on. And I didn't understand that. I'm not a referee, though. You know, I'm not a referee. And but Delaware State, they played a physical game. This is the game that tested their mettle. They had a rotation, had a QB rotation with Saray and Caden going in and out, and they seem to be doing it well. And in the post-game conference, Saray was like, I do what coach tells me to do. And he really looked good. I seen him use his legs more. And they were trying to get the ball downfield. The running backs still look good. I like their all 3 of their running backs. It was another Cobi Boykin sighting. You know, he looked good in the game. So I think that Delaware State's defense is definitely improved. Now, if those big uglies show up again and shut people down, I think they still can win an ugly game. I just got that feeling. And they believe they can win an ugly game. And so this is where it's going to be interesting. And as you've seen, South Carolina State can win a tight game, an ugly game. But I think Delaware State is almost built for it. The thing I'm happy is their secondary kind of tightened up because we know that was their weak spot. Their secondary was definitely their weak spot. But I'm telling you, and then I'm going to say this. I know people are talking. Don't be surprised if he stays. Don't be surprised if he stays. They love Jack there. I think he really likes being there. I mean, I know he's adjusting to that small school administrative stuff. Small, because you could say HBCU, but all those small colleges have administrative things going on and stuff like that. That humps you got to get over. And I think they can do it. I think they're built to do it, but they got to make sure they come to play and keep their heads. And the fans got to make this a home game. Mm-hmm. They need the fans to be there and make this a home game. I'm disappointed in everything that D-Jack is doing, and the crowds aren't bigger.
Yeah, man, they can't let Delaware State, DSU fans, I'm talking to you. We know y'all are out there because you came out in Philadelphia. Find your way to Dover and bring a friend. Don't let there be more South Carolina State people in Dover than y'all, because it just might be because they know the stakes, you know. And they'll pull up. I saw a lot of faces in Durham that I saw at Norfolk and that I saw at A&T. And yeah, it's a little bit of a bigger trip, but you know, they can smell, you know, they South Carolina State, we'll put it out there, they feel disrespected, you know, by folks like us, you know. Everybody's talking about the New Jacks, you know, everybody's talking about them. or the SWAC or even the D2s. And not a lot of people are talking about South Carolina State because, they're just down there in Orangeburg and, it's dark and gloomy and we're running out of there before the sun goes down. But, Coach Berry and his guys.
They better not start doing that whine and playing the victim. That's some BS. Everybody know that they ball down in South Carolina State. I'm not going to sit up here and, I love my folks in the North, whether we win or lose, but we ain't going to sit here and act like people don't know that Coach Berry got his team balling for years. He dominated the SIAC. He came in and did a hell of a job in his first year, and he rebuilt the team in the second year. You know what I mean? And we always expect him to have great O-line play because he was an O-line coach. And so, don't cut the victimhood. Cut it. I don't got time for it. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to make it my personal mission. I'm going to make my own pleas on social media. Because Delaware, John Taylor came and spoke to the team pregame. Mm-hmm. For y'all that don't know, he played with Jerry Rice and won some Super Bowls and a MEAC championship when Delaware State was a very, very, very good team in the early MEAC days. And he showed up to support them. And he said he'll be back next week. So I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Cobi's always talking about the North and everything like that, man. Well, this is their chance. This is their opportunity to show out for Delaware State University. Again, we saw y'all all in the video, all the DSU pride, when it was at the link. Well, what do they call it? What do they call the stadium over? Alumni Stadium. I think that's an alumni stadium. Pull up to alumni. I don't know what kind of nickname y'all have it. I don't even know if they do nicknames in Delaware. I don't know. I might come. I've never been to a Delaware State game. I mean, hell. It may not ever be as great a time as now to come. I think I might pull up too. So if I'm coming from North Carolina, you can come from, the various places that you're coming from. But look, guys, I definitely appreciate everybody that was on the show earlier. Chris, as we broke down the D2 playoffs, and again, you can see us on the D2 show on Wednesday. Josh as well. He had to hop off, but thanks to him for his insight as well. And of course, my guy Cobi rolling with me there. And yeah, man, we'll go ahead and get ready. We'll go ahead and get ready for a busy week. We actually have a de facto MEAC championship game. People are always asking for a MEAC championship game. Well, This is it. It's just not officially, but it's an unofficial MEAC championship game. End of the year. We haven't had one of these since North Carolina A&T and North Carolina Central a while back. So those are always fun. John Grant will be there, I'm sure, giving out the invite to the Celebration Bowl. So, yeah, man, we're definitely looking forward to it. A great week of HBCU football. Some of us are searching for head coaches. So there's that. So there's a lot of football left to play, even though a good bit of our teams are no longer there. Shout out to Miss Cunningham. I do see her in our comments quite a bit, as well as over on Twitter. She always rides for South Carolina State University. So, hey, I get it. It's going to be, want to know is their mantra, and they've been getting it done. So we'll see. We'll see how that travels this week.
Hold up, Steve, can I say one thing? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm going to say this. For the first time in umpteenth years, Dover, Delaware will be the epicenter of HBCU football universe. There's nothing you can tell me about that. Ain't that something? Come on to the north. And I hope it's cold. I hope it's ice cold. Freeze them Carolina boys out.
South Carolina, because there is a difference. Okay. Please be specific. Yeah, okay. Those South Carolina boys
out.
Yes, thank you.
They're going to be ready to play. I just want to know, the only thing I want to get before the game is Coach Berry's sermon. Because he's going to give a good one.
Hey, man. Well, this is what it's all about. So Again, we appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Road Warriors. We'll divvy up some of these segments a little bit later, but thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure that you listen via the podcast, which is on Apple and Spotify as well. Of course, we have the D2 show this week. The folks will be down in Atlanta with the HBCU Game Day podcast. We got basketball going on too. I just came back from a North Carolina A&T Winston-Salem State women's basketball game. D1 school won, whatever. But it is what it is. It's basketball season, so we'll go there and we'll catch you guys in the next video. For Cobi, for Josh, for K-Ferg, and Chris. We'll catch you guys. Cobi, Josh, K-Ferg. Yeah, I added somebody else. Yeah. All right, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.